Welcome back for another video. Today, we're going to be talking about 2023 Fantasy Football League winners. Who are the guys that you should be looking at in the draft at the various points in the draft that if you can steal them, go steal them because these are guys that are going to help you win your league championship. We're going to start with the running back. That's going to be RB1 this year, Austin Ekeler. There's a good reason he's RB1. He should be RB1. He will probably finish as RB1. And look, he's playing to prove a point in 2023. They won't give him more money. I think they gave him $1.5 million raise. Don't get me wrong, $1.5 million is a lot of money. It'd be great to have that in my bank account. You know what I mean? But for what Austin Eckler's worth, he's just not getting paid, and so he's out to prove a point this year. And when you look at his production, he has 38 touchdowns since the start of 2021. That is 12 more touchdowns than anybody else in the NFL. Running back, receiver, it doesn't matter. He has 12 more touchdowns than anybody else in the NFL since the start of 2021. When you look at just last season, he had 107 catches last season, which is obviously a lot for a running back. I wouldn't expect that number to be over 100 again. It could, I wouldn't expect it to, but I think Austin Eckler is going to once again have a very good season, just like he always does. Very easily could end up being RB1, very easily could help you win your fantasy football league this season. The first receiver we're going to talk about is going to be Ja'Marr Chase. He's currently wide receiver 3 in ESPN leagues. And when you look at him, his target share is huge from year 1 to year 2, it went from 24 to 29. And the Bengals, they run one of the pass heaviest offenses in the league. In 2023, they threw the ball the second most in the NFL. At the end of the day, with the talent and the opportunity that Ja'Marr Chase has, I think he could very easily be another Triple Crown winner. What we saw Cooper Kupp do, it might not be to that magnitude because T. Higgins is there and because Tyler Boyd is there, but I think Ja'Marr Chase could have an outrageous season. I think it's actually very likely that that happens. Probably ends up being wide receiver 1 and helps carry people to their championships. Now, moving back to running backs, I'm going to have Jahmyr Gibbs here. This is a guy that if I can steal him at some point in my draft, I'm going to get the steal. I don't know how early it's going to have to be. It obviously depends on how the drafts are falling. But I'm thinking probably anywhere between the 3rd and the 5th round, I'm probably going to have to take him. Right now, he's going as running back 16 in ESPN leagues. When you look at the Lions offense, it's tailor-made for someone like Jahmyr Gibbs. Like with his route running and his catching ability, he's going to have a role in the passing game, but they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. They have a bunch of receivers that people are going to have to worry about. And they have a running back in David Montgomery that can take some work away from him, will take some work away from him, and will bolster some touchdowns away from him. But Jahmyr Gibbs, especially in PPR leagues, with everything he brings as pass catching threat, Jahmyr Gibbs in his rookie season is going to help a lot of people win their leagues. Like this Lions backfield scored an NFL high 501 points as a unit last season. I expect to see similar results in 2023. Moving back to a receiver position now, it's going to be Garrett Wilson, who's currently wide receiver 10 in ESPN leagues. We look at last season, he had 1,000 yards in his rookie season with 4 different quarterbacks and a lot less help. All right. Talent should take over this season for Garrett Wilson going into his 2nd season in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback now. So I expect to see a lot of volume go Garrett Wilson's way, and I expect to see Garrett Wilson break out as an absolute superstar, like top 5 wide receiver in the league. Could easily be a top 3 wide receiver in fantasy football this season. So go ahead, give me Garrett Wilson to be somebody that could be a league winner, again, from wide receiver 10 position. And the next running back on the list is going to be Alvin Kamara, who is currently running back 29, if you can believe that. And that's because of the possible suspension and probably, likely suspension that's going to happen. So you're probably not going to have Alvin Kamara for the first few weeks. No really telling how long it's going to be, but probably won't be there for the first few weeks. When Kamara does come back from his suspension, Williams is going to vulture some touchdowns from him, inevitably. Like that's just going to happen. But that's all going to be made up for in the passing game for Alvin Kamara, which now has Derek Carr, right? Josh Jacobs last season had 53 catches. Josh Jacobs isn't really a pass catching back, but he has Derek Carr. That's kind of what Derek Carr does. And this offense is going to be similar to what they were running in Las Vegas. So even with the Alvin Kamara suspension that's again, likely to happen. I think by the time you get him back, pretty much no matter what position you're in, he's going to help excel your team. He's going to help you get to the playoffs and he's going to help you get to the championship. At that point, he's going to help carry the team. I think Alvin Kamara, by the time he gets back and like in the span of the season that he's going to be back, probably a top 3 running back, in my opinion, this season. That is my prediction. And I think if you can steal Alvin Kamara at some point, steal him. Like if you can, have him on your bench and have him stashed away for when he comes back, I think that'd be a great move. All right, the next receiver we're going to have on list is OBJ, who ends up in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. And the last time we saw OBJ, he was at the top of his game, about to win the Super Bowl MVP before he tore his ACL in that game. All right, he's in incredible shape right now, and I expect him to be himself again. Like when he came back the last time, the ACL wasn't even fully repaired and he looked great. This time it's fully repaired, it's fully healed. He's had more than enough time to heal up. And so I expect him to come back and be the OBJ we're used to seeing and be complete superstar once again. And I think wherever you can steal him at in your draft, make sure you can, because there's probably going to be somebody else that thinks they're about to steal OBJ. So he's going to be a hot commodity. Go make sure you get him because he's going to help you win your championship this year. All right, to finish this video off, we're going to go with quarterback Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar finally getting some real weapons around him is dangerous for the rest of the league. I don't think people really understand. Like, think what he did with just Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews to throw the ball to, right? He led the NFL in passing touchdowns that season. He won the MVP, still had over 1,000 yards that season. This season, we're going to see that kind of Lamar. I think there's a chance he leads the NFL in passing touchdowns, having OBJ, having Zay Flowers, having Rashad Bateman, having Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and then everything he does as a rusher, he's probably going to win the MVP again. Very easily could win the MVP again. So I think if you can find a way to steal Lamar, which is why I'm not huge on drafting quarterbacks in the first round, but I could see why people would draft him in the first round. I could definitely see why people would be taking him in the second or third. I will certainly be thinking about taking him in the second or third round of my drafts if he does not go in the first. So Lamar, again, if you can get them, get them. If you can get any of these guys, get these guys on your team. I think these are guys that are going to help carry guys to championships this year. Volume is going to be great. The numbers are going to be great week after week. Go ahead and pick these guys up. If there's anybody else that you know of that you think is going to be a league winner, let me know down in the comments. If we can put together enough of them, maybe we can put together another video real quick. So you let me know down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe and keep coming back for more off-season content. We'll see you for the next video.